One of the things Donald Trump has been saying, which we've given him credit for, is that the election system in America is corrupt and the lobbyists run the place. And he says that he wouldn't listen to them and he wouldn't take big money. Well, it turns out that all of that is a farce. Now, this is one of the biggest problems with Donald Trump, is that even when he says decent things on occasion, you never know if you can believe him because it's Donald fucking Trump. Well, now we know for sure that at least when it comes to corruption, it's all a farce. So Mediaite is reporting today, quote, Donald Trump's campaign manager told the Washington Post that they would sue if reporters wrote an unflattering story about the Republican candidate's ties to a super PAC. Trump has long portrayed himself as unable to be wooed by big corporate donors, since he himself is a billionaire. But a Post story Sunday pointed out that the Trump campaign does have ties to a super PAC that takes money from wealthy donors, called the Make America Great Again PAC. When the Washington Post asked Trump campaign manager Corey Lewandowski for comment, he responded with the threat of legal action. Quote, he threatened to file a lawsuit if the Washington Post reported that Trump had given the group his blessing. Lewandowski also denied having any ties to anyone running the Make America Great Again PAC, but when the Post provided concrete evidence that he had ties to the PAC's consultant, Mike Saletti, Lewandowski responded, I know a lot of people, and hung up. So there's no question about it. Donald Trump is definitely taking corporate money, rich people's money, even though he's rich himself, for his super PAC, and they're involved in trying to get him elected. Now, clearly, the way it works under U.S. law, and it's not so clear, so I don't know why I said clearly, but super PACs are supposed to be totally separate from your campaign. And the idea is, well, there are some limits if people donate to your campaign, because that's corruption when people give money to a campaign. But as long as it's an outside spending group, aka a super PAC, well, then you should be able to give unlimited money, because in theory, that's not connected to the campaign. So this is objective and independent, and they're not going to be, colluding with the people in the campaign. Of course, across the board, all of these guys, to one extent or another, do collude with their super PACs who are working to try to get them elected. And now we have just hardcore evidence of it. And on top of that, he's even worse than a guy like Jeb Bush, because his people are threatening a lawsuit if a free press, allegedly free press, writes articles on facts about what's going on with this super PAC. Oh, that's beyond fucked up. Trump went from being better than other Republicans on the issue of money in politics to worse in one, article here, which lays it out for us. Even Jeb Bush, when he's called out with, hey man, it looks like you're still kind of colluding with your super PAC, at least he has the wherewithal to be like, shh. He doesn't say anything to the media. And if anybody ever hints anything, it's kind of like come on, everybody does it. Now, they're breaking the law, no question about it. But Trump and his campaign, they're so fucking brazen that they're called out, and they're like, well, now I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you, the Washington Post, for doing journalism and learning shit that can educate the public about what kind of a person we're dealing with this candidate. They're like, no, we're going to sue you if you write an unfavorable story about us. Guys, this is fucking scary. I mean, we're talking about a guy in Donald Trump who now has a decent chance to win the election. He's an out-and-out authoritarian. Just out and out. And he's got that like Gaddafi complex of, I'm above all rules. I'm above any kind of scrutiny. And even if you report on information about what I'm doing, well, I'll just sue you and try to shut you down. And when you have as much money as Donald Trump and you have the legal team that can fucking argue anything, people will just be cowered into silence. And that's the biggest thing to worry about, because we do live in a free country in terms of free speech with the First Amendment. So, of course, Trump would lose that case. But the idea is just make them spend a shitload of money going through the court process to prevent them from writing in the future negative stories about you and your campaign.